All right, boys, so we're clocking in for a cheeky little video tonight, and what we're here to talk about is Bayer Leverkusen. This team, this team is unbelievable. I'm going to tell you this just for a perspective of someone that has no bias in this situation. What they're doing is like it's magical. It's like magical what these guys are doing. Now, I know before you say it's only the Europa League and everything, I'm going to tell you this. What is so impressive about the outcome of this match was the fact that because Frimpong scored in the last minute, they kept their unbeaten streak and they now made it 44 consecutive games. And it's not even like this unbeaten streak has like they've been, trolling through, playing like Luton Town and stuff and all this and winning by 6 goals. I mean, they come back in the last round against Karabag, a team from Azerbaijan, and they score like how many goals was it? They had to come back and score 3 or 4. We're talking like last minute winner, last minute winner from Patrick Schick. It's crazy. Even the other weekend, they were down 1-0, I believe, and they come back and win 2-1 in the last minute, and the place goes crazy, and then they just cook the other weekend. It's incredible, and it's not even just the wins and the losses. The way this team is playing football, like the way Jaka has gone to this team and played, the fullbacks, the way they use their fullbacks. I mean, Frimpong and Grimaldo, like, it's beautiful to see. And, for me, it's just crazy. It's not even like tonight, if they were down 1-0, that they wouldn't have gone through to the next round. They still had the advantage. It's not even like they needed that goal. But, boy, that continues the streak. And Bayer Leverkusen, they are becoming must-watch TV. I mean, must-watch TV. I'm pretty sure, we'll check in a second. I'm pretty sure they are facing up this weekend against Dortmund, which is going to be a huge match. I think no, it's not. Is it Dortmund? It's Dortmund or Stuttgart. It might be Stuttgart. I think it is actually Stuttgart, who is incredible. I'm not even going to speak about them because this team is even more incredible. But I tell you, for the Bundesliga, and I'm a guy who grew up, I love watching Bayern. Like, I'll just tell you this. I am a Bayern fan, Bayern Munich. I love watching Lahm. I love watching Basti. I love watching all these guys at Bayern. I was just a huge fan of the German national team growing up. I am German, but I'll tell you this, these guys, what they're doing, it's so good for football. It's so good. Like Xabi Alonso, right? He's got all these rumors that he's going to leave and he's not going to stay and all of this. And he announces he's staying. And he's got clubs coming after him that are huge clubs, I mean, obviously, my eye is tweaking. I got an eyelash in my eye. Ow, dude. Obviously, all, top tier, European clubs. There's rumors about Liverpool. He denies all these to stay. He's like, I'm staying one more year. I have nothing but respect for that because right now we're in the era of people securing the bags and all this and what he's building. To see him build this project and, dude, what is going on with my eye here? All right, it's good. Just to see him build this project, bro, and stick with it, it's like, for me as a football fan, it's everything you want. And now the Bundesliga is like rapidly, insanely challenging because it's crazy to me that Bayern, no title this year, right? Dortmund are like in 5th place. Stuttgart are in 3rd place. And if you haven't seen a Stuttgart match this season, I mean, go watch it. Next year, this league is going to be crazy. And what's the best about all this? Grimaldo, right? Let's talk about all these players. Boniface, Wirtz, Hincapi, Frimpong, Palacios, even Sheik now, right? All these guys, right? In another situation, if Xabi Alonso leaves, they're probably going to go cash out because of this season. They're all looking like they're staying. And that's what's incredible for me. We don't see this too often anymore. The NBA, if anybody watches the NBA who's watching this video, the NBA lost this entirely. Like, this is not happening anymore in the NBA. If you see a star player staying in the same place and building, it's legendary. It's like iconic. So to see this starting to, maybe this is going to be he's going to set a trend or something. I'd love to continue to watch this because the way they play, it's so beautiful too. The way they I know you're going to say I'm glazing this team, but what they're doing, bro, for the sport is incredible. You look at other teams like, Man City, United. And I'm not saying United's had the success City's had, but how much these clubs, Chelsea, are spending now. And we're going to talk about how much these guys spent and what they're doing. It's crazy, right? So Europa's still on for them today. They get the business done. They didn't play the best today, but they got it done. West Ham puts up a really good fight. Obviously, they had to. They were losing. They had to go for it, and that's why you see West Ham ends up with, probably a little bit more of the chances, right? But, they get it done. They go in London and they get it done. That's not easy to go to London and still get this done, right? And you got to understand as well, there's a lot of pressure riding on this team right now. Imagine you have a 44-game unbeaten streak. I don't care how damn good you are, you start to think about it. It's what it is. You start to think about it for sure. So Leverkusen, obviously, this is where the league is looking like right now. And yes, they are playing Dortmund. I was right. I think they still have to play Stuttgart as well. But they play, oh my God, look at this, guys. Don't miss these games. They're playing Dortmund and they're playing Leverkusen. Don't miss those 2 games. They play Frankfurt as well. So hopefully this video doesn't jinx them. But I tell you this, it's looking tough because that's a tough 3 to play in a row. That's 3 very serious teams. But in the league this year, 25 wins, 4 draws, 0 losses. I mean, even second place, 6 losses, right? So this season, they are 13 in the similar away and home record, 19 against, bro. Their expected goals is 61.7, so they have 74, and their expected against is 24.3. It's just crazy what they're doing, right? And we could even go over to like Europa League. Now, the one thing I'll go back in a second, they are still playing. They are still playing for Pokal. So if you don't know that already, they're also still playing for another trophy, excuse me. So 44 in a row. Here's what I wanted to go through with you guys and talk about, right? Obviously, Xabi Alonso, he gets appointed in the middle of the previous season, right? When they were not doing too hot. And this season, we really get to see kind of what's going on. So these are the players that they brought in for this season. They spent 20 mil on Boniface. They spent, I'll zoom in for this for you guys. They spent 23 mil on Tella from Southampton. They got Xhaka for 15 mil. Some experience, right? 30 years old. Hoffman, they brought in a German national team player, 10 mil. I'm trying to see. They just got Borja Iglesias on loan. They got Grimaldo on a free. Grimaldo is going to go down as one of the best frees of all time. Oh my God. They got Stanisic from Bayern, who's played well here. Stanisic wasn't, he was getting some time, but he wasn't really going crazy. They got him on loan. He's doing well. So Paulinho, I've been seeing him a little bit. So they recruited 2 players from Brazil. And here's who they sold. They sold Diaby for 55 mil, right? He was a huge price for them to sell. Demirbay went out. Becerra went out. I can't say that properly. And they have some players going out on frees and obviously loans and stuff. But they done a good bit of business. They had Hudson-Odoi as well on loan who just ended, right? So here's what they did. They spent 81, average age 23.8, and they sold 69.2. It's just, I'm telling you this, if you went to go look at this compared to like other clubs, you guys would be like, what the hell? Like, can I just pull up Chelsea here to show you guys? Like, let me show you Chelsea. You guys will be like, is that gonna work here? Can we do this? No? Is that not gonna work? Can we just do this then? Oh. Whoa. What did I just do, man? Is that not happening? All right, you know what? Let's just do this. It's got US, so we'll go to Europe. Bro. Oh, we're in countries. That's not a good look. All right, Premier League, and then we'll go to Chelsea, right? So, can we get a club summary, bro? Oh, that's all I had to do, right? Look at this, man. Look how much these guys spent. Transfers. What is this under? Let's see. Current season's transfers. All transfers. Overview. Next season's transfers. Arrivals. Bro, 467 mil. Departures, 269 mil. Like, just the levels to this, like, of how much less they spend, even with a team like Chelsea. I mean, to me, it's just insane. It's just insane. And this is where they were last year. Like, people forget, this is where the Bundesliga was last year. Bayern, Dortmund choked on the last day. People forget that too. But Dortmund probably should have won the league last year. They really sold. They could have won. They had the ability to go out there and get the job done, and they didn't. And Bayern ends up getting it because Dortmund dropped points and Bayern won. But if Dortmund wins that game, they win the league. So Bayern was already starting to fall off a little bit last year. But for Leverkusen to do what they're doing, it's crazy. And they're going to be in the Champions League next year, which is going to be really exciting. And, Leverkusen, let's be real, right? They still have everything now to play for. I mean, we can't hold it against them that they're not in the Champions League. But they are still, they're playing the Pokal final May 25th, right? And they're going to be in the semifinals now. Fabrizio had it on his Twitter. They are in the semifinals of the Europa League, and they will be facing up against Roma, which will not be easy because Roma just took care of Milan today, which was very impressive. So it's going to be De Rossi versus Xabi Alonso. We know who we're putting our money on. Leverkusen right now, you can make the argument that they are the best team in Europe. To be honest, I don't think you can make it much against that. They're 44 games unbeaten. They can still play for the Europa League final trophy and the Pokal. They could get 3 trophies, man. Crazy. Crazy. European trophy, Bundesliga, and Pokal. Crazy. So, I like this team for what they're doing for football, how they spend, how they operate. And, you look at this team right now and the players that have been there. They brought in some players for sure, like Grimaldo, that really took care of it. But let's be real, right? Frimpong has been there. I think Ta and Hincapie have been there for a little bit. Hincapie's been there for 111 matches now. Kosonu has been there for 95. He's been there for 4 years. Ta has been there since 2015. I mean, so, like, this is where, in my opinion, it's obvious that what Xabi Alonso is doing is because of Xabi Alonso. Now, obviously, yes, you brought in Boniface, you brought in Grimaldo, you brought in some transfers that have worked out really well. But when you look at these players that have been there for a couple years, Palacios since 2020, I mean, most of his team the core of the team has been there. They brought in a couple guys. Tella's one of them, right? But Sheik has been there since 2020, and look at what Xabi's getting out of them this year. That's what I'm saying. That's where you can really see it. Team is crazy, guys. Don't miss the next 2 games. One of my favorite teams, if not my favorite to watch in football right now. What do you guys think? What does everybody think about this squad?